Hello, my name is Duncan Southgate, and we're here for a special Cannes edition of Future Proof. I'm here today with Elaine Rodrigo from Reckitt and Myralda Derks from L'Oréal. We're going to be talking about how AI is revolutionizing their creative development processes. If I can start with you, Myralda, obviously both of you are really early adopters of AI in the process, but what I'd like to know is, how is it working for you? What are the benefits you're already seeing? So if you can just give us some ideas of some of the applications that are really working for you, that would be a great way to kick off, I think.
At L'Oréal, we are using Link AI quite extensively at the moment. We started about, I want to say 2 years ago, a little bit longer, over 2 years ago, with really seeing where can this AI really help us. And what we found where it really is helping us is in doing a lot of meta-analysis. So we are really testing lots of content, either be it on a certain platform or on a certain country or region or on a certain category. And we just exponentially fasten the way we learn about how advertising in a certain category or country or platform works. So this is what is really insightful for us. It gives us the more nuanced view on what is happening, because we just can look much wider and deeper than we could ever do before.
What about you? I know you're doing some of that as well, Elaine, but how else are you maybe finding AI that works for you?
Yeah, so similar to Myralda as well, we started working with Kantar, with Link AI for a couple of years, sort of similar timing. But really, AI has been in the research and insights space for much longer than the last 2 years. It's just because of Gen AI. Obviously, the conversation has really accelerated since. So as a I&A team, we've been using AI-powered insights for a number of years, but probably through social listening and other methods like that. If I look specifically at comms, for example, we looked at the end-to-end workflow and tried to understand which points AI-powered insights could actually give us a competitive advantage. So very similar to L'Oréal, we started downstream as well by looking at the screening part of it, right? And how could we systematically run all our assets, but specifically the digital assets, but also video, through the AI process as well, to kind of quickly get and build data and learn more as well around what we're doing on ads. And then secondly, now what we're doing is we're using our internally developed insights generation assistant to develop insights upstream as well, that we hope that over time will actually improve the way that we write our briefs and therefore would drive the creative process.
So obviously, embedding these insights at scale in a large global organization can be a little tricky. So I guess, Elaine, can you maybe talk to us about some of the things you've done with your teams to make sure that this is operationally efficient as well as insights beneficial?
Sure. So as we embarked on the Gen AI journey about 2 years ago, as we were discussing, we took the opportunity to skill up the insights and analytics team first, bring them along on the journey in terms of how we were even selecting the vendors and the methods that we would experiment with. And then over the last, I would say 6 to 12 months within Reckitt, we've actually been introducing and bringing the marketers on board with the Gen AI solutions that we have developed within the organization around insights, innovation, brand planning, and also media tools. Mm-hmm. So it's a systematic deployment where it's actually hands-on boards, with hundreds of marketers around the world. We've so far launched in the US, UK, Canada. I just got back from Australia from doing that as well, working directly with the users on the ground, the ABMs, the BMs, and marketers on the ground to actually upskill. And I'm happy to see, at least just at the early start now as we're doing this, that we're seeing scores of 80-90% of our marketers saying that they feel confident of using these new Gen AI solutions to do their daily jobs.
So obviously AI is scaling nicely, but it's not perfect for every question. So Myralda, can you talk us about some of the remaining limitations that you're working with, or the reservations you have, or how you're making sure that it's being used appropriately rather than stretched beyond where it's actually ideally used?
Yeah. I think firstly, importantly to say is that at L'Oréal, we really have a very strong ethics and legal frame for everything we do with AI, because still there's a lot of questions about transparency of the data. So first, I think that's important. When it comes to assets and campaigns and work, that's going to get a lot of media spent behind. So what we call our hero assets or the big campaigns. We feel that consumer testing is still a very good way to go, not only because it gives us actually much more input to develop along the way. So while the AI tools are great and really, like I said before, giving you the width and the depth and the speed, the human testing we still do on very important topics or on topics that are either highly emotional, highly disruptive, where we really want to be sure we're not losing our edge.
It's not just insights that's changing, obviously. It's also the role of agencies with all these new AI tools that they're working with these days. So, Elaine, can you just talk just a little bit about how you see their roles evolving and how Insights needs to adapt to be able to help them?
Well, within Reckitt, we've been partnering our creative agencies and how we actually look at Gen AI in the end-to-end comms process. So we embarked on pilots looking downstream actually within the comms process, because we believe that upstream is where there's still a lot of human insight and magic and creativity that happens. So we've gone after 2 pilots, which are in the area of localization of assets, as well as adaptation for different audiences and different platforms. So the role of insights within this, twofold. One, in terms of the testing, and that's where the Link AI and things that we're working on has been really helpful in terms of creating that iterative feedback loop as well. And also the ability, for example, with creative transport, where we test in one place and we can see how that ad does on TV in 80 different places and digital in 40 different places. So that's how we've actually been working in partnership with our creative agencies, but also bringing insights into it. The next area that we're going to go now is looking at insights in the upstream process, right? Where using the insights generation assistant that I mentioned previously, it was originally set up to look at insights for innovation, and now we're actually starting to pivot it to look at insights for creativity, for the creative brief. And that's when, the big proprietary data sets that we've developed over the last years will be very useful in terms of training the tools, but also the tested knowledge that resides within the people, within the insights and analytics people, the marketers, but actually companies also like yourselves, like Kantar, where you've got a lot of tested knowledge and understanding about how you build brands and how you actually come out with creative, and we're looking forward to that partnership.
So thank you so much to both of you for taking time out of your busy Cannes schedules to be here this morning. I guess just one final question from me is, obviously, AI is moving incredibly fast right now. So if we can try and think ahead to where things might be in a year's time, what do we think will be the biggest changes? Where might we have got to by the time we get to a similar conversation to this in 2026?
So I think firstly, I feel that over the last 12 months, we've all come to the realization that the human in the loop and human insight is still extremely important. And that's a very good thing, right? Because it's really the human beings that bring the magic, that creative magic and insights to what we're looking at. I think that the whole end-to-end way that we're looking at it, AI is going to help us sort of make everything much more connected going forward. So not just connected insight from the start of the creative process all the way to the end, that feedback loop as well to create that iterative effect, but also end-to-end measurement and how we look at that with brands and creative and comms all coming together is something that we're looking at, and I'm keen to progress into 2026.
I think we really have seen indeed that creativity needs to have a spark, and that spark sits with great artists, great creators. So it's going to be technology and intuition that will win the game, and that is going to be fueling this magical creativity that we're all looking for to fuel our brands.